What's up, fam? You already know who it is. Yesterday was my grandma's birthday, so I was out late. But, you already know the light goal, but I am gonna play the author's note real fast before the video. So, to warn you, Karen will be strong. I hate reading fanfictions where they say Uzumakis are strong but Karen is underpowered, so I made some changes. Chiyuya will have her current level of strength when I introduce her, but she will be corrected by Naruto. Also, Karen won't be from Kusa. I found out there was another village near there if Karen and her mother made a different turn from Uzu. Also, Karen will have a sword. Is she going to be okay? Kuritsuchi asked Naruto as they left the battlefield of the two legendary Sani. Yeah, Ba-chan is strong. She will not die so easily. Ever since I met her, she has been training non-stop. Naruto answered with confidence. What do you mean, since you met her? Didn't you grow up with her? Kuritsuchi asked, jumping on trees next to Naruto. No, apparently the council told her I was dead so they could tell me into a weapon. She left the village a long time ago after her fiancé and brother died in a war. She was on her way back to the village when I was born, but she was lied to. Naruto said. I see, it's because you're a Jinchuriki. Kuritsuchi said. Naruto's eyes widened and looked at her. She gave Naruto a confusing look and giggled. I see, no one's supposed to know. Don't worry, the only reason I know is because my teammate is one and he was treated differently. I know the difference, Kuritsuchi reassured. Thank you. You know, without the whole trying to kill me thing, you are pretty awesome. Naruto complimented. Kuritsuchi blushed. Thanks, you're not bad. I'm glad I don't have to kill someone as handsome as you. My conscience wouldn't be able to take it, Kuritsuchi said, moving a bang of hair behind her ear. Same, I wouldn't want to kill someone as pretty as you. Naruto said, return the compliment. They both landed on a tree after a few more minutes of jumping and stood in front of each other. Listen, sorry about how I acted. I let my anger take over. I rarely knew my mom, and when she died, I felt like I lost everything. And she paused when she felt Naruto embrace her in a hug. It's okay, I understand. If I lost someone I cared about, I would probably do the same. Kuratsuchu didn't say anything and just nodded in Naruto's chest. Naruto pulled back and gave her his foxy grin. But we're cool now, so everything is cool now. Maybe we could hang out after this. I know a good ramen stand that tastes like the food of the gods. Kuritsuchi gave him a smile in return. Sure, and once again, she approached the blonde and kissed the corner of his lip, making him blush. Thanks, you're pretty cool yourself. I have to get to my team, so see you at the tower, Kuritsuchi said before jumping away. Bye, Naruto said in the daze. Snap out of it, I'm happy you got another hottie, but you gotta get back to your team, Kuruma said. Naruto snapped out of it and leapt away. Sakura was under a tree, taking care of Sasuke. She just encountered the snake Sannin after being separated from Naruto. Sasuke was guided into fighting him by some taunts, and now he was unconscious from the snake Sannin biting him on the neck, giving him a mark. Naruto-kun, where are you? Soon she heard rustling in the trees. She acted like she didn't hear it. I guess it's time to put the training to the test, she thought, going through some hand signs. So this is where she was. What happened to Sasuke Uchiha? Dosu asked, watching Sakura taking care of the raven head. Who cares? Our mission is to eliminate him. If the girl wants to get in the way, it's her funeral, Zaku said. Still, We should proceed with caution, remembering what happened before the exam. She's pretty strong, Kin said. She noticed the genjutsu Sakura placed. Shut up, I don't need you to remind me. I'll make that bitch pay. She and her two friends gang up on me, I can take her alone. Zaku said, remembering the headlock he was in. Are you sure about that? The T-male Oto Nin snapped their heads towards Sakura, who appeared above them. Sakura threw a punch towards Zaku, who blocked it with his arms, but his bones cracked and he was sent flying through a couple trees. Dosu swiped at her with his gauntlet, causing a sound to erupt from the gauntlet. Dosu was surprised when Sakura kawarii me with a log, destroying it in the process. Sakura appeared behind him and roundhouse kicked him towards the ground. Sakura breathed a bit and turned to Kin with a confused look. Kin noticed the look Sakura gave. What? Aren't you going to attack me? Sakura asked. No, I never wanted to do this. I was hoping your handsome teammate was here so I could ask him to watch out. Kin warned before Dosu appeared behind them and punched Sakura in the stomach, following up with a kick sending Sakura back towards the ground. Dosu then grabbed Kin by the throat. What are you doing, traitor? Helping her. They are our targets, Dosu said. Fu.ck.u. I never liked you or that so-called village, you always treated me like shit. Why should I give a damn about you? Kin retorted. Fine. Dosu threw Kin next to Sakura. We'll find a replacement, Zaku. Right, prepare to die bitches, Zaku said, jumping in the opening, arms extended. Zankaha. Zaku a blast of sound waves towards the kunoichis. Surezu tilde EBU. Sakura was about to go through some hand seals when a red blur ran past her and sliced the attack, splitting it in multiple directions. Sakura and Kin covered their eyes for a moment to avoid the dust. When they opened it, there were two kunoichis in front of them. One had short red hair, with a mesh shirt and stockings, a purple skirt, a light brown short-sleeved jacket with an orange stripe going across the chest and black sandals. She had a Nadeshiko headband. The other had black hair in a ponytail with green eyes and with a gray kunoichi uniform and gray gloves with a skirt to match. Are you two all right? Yeah, thanks for the help, Sakura responded, snapping out of her daze. Shizuka, watch the two. I can handle this, the redhead said, stepping forward. Are you sure, Karen-san? Shizuka asked. Karen turned to her teammate and smiled. I am, and besides, with these two, I won't have to take off my glasses. Shizuka nodded and stepped back. Karen turned to the male Oto Nins, radiating a battle aura. Dosu started to sweat a bit. This girl, her chakra level is high like the blonde from earlier. The way she cut Zaku's attack like nothing, she's not to be underestimated. Why are you here? This has nothing to do with you, Dosu asked. Damn, why is it hard to kill the Uchiha? What's your connection? Zaku yelled in anger. With the Uchiha, nothing. I don't want you to ruin the chances of Naruto advancing forward until I test him. Karen answered, confusing the Oto Nins. Not to be rude, but why should you care about Naruto-kun? Sakura asked. Karen turned to the Pinkett and smirked. Maybe I should have introduced myself with my full name. My name is Karen Uzumaki. Sakura's jaw dropped. You mean that you and Naruto are from the same clan? And imagine my surprise when I heard the guy with the glasses said he was an Uzumaki. From his chakra level, I knew he was right, Karen answered. Well, too bad you aren't going to meet him because you're dead, Zaku yelled, lifting his arm, preparing another sound attack, but to his surprise, his left arm fell to the ground. Severe from his shoulder, Karen was behind him, sheathing her sword back into the hilt. Arg! Zaku screamed in agony, grasping his shoulder. Too slow, Karen commented. Dosu charged forward, swinging his gauntlet. Karen blocked it with the sheath of her sword. Dosu smirked under the mask but was shocked to see Karen fine. How are you? Not affected by the sound waves. Karen finished the question. She looked at the sheath. Dosu followed her gaze towards the sheath and it was glowing yellow. You see, I saw your attack before. So to avoid it, I channeled wind chakra into the sheath, disrupting the sound. And now, Karen's palm glowed yellow and she attacked Dosu's chest, sending him backwards. Dosu collected himself in the air and flipped, sliding on the ground. Dosu looked up and smirked. Take this, bitch. Zaku appeared behind her and pointed his hand towards Karen, prepared to blast her. Zaku muttered before his head landed on the ground. Everyone was confused, until Naruto landed behind Karen back to back. Naruto-kun, Sakura cheered. Naruto turned to her. He gave her a wink and noticed Sasuke was on the ground. He was glad he was alright. Dosu turned to Naruto and was sweating bullets. Kin, come help me, Dosu ordered desperately, causing the Odo female to scowl. Fuck you, you always abuse me but now you want my help. I'm not going back to you or our leader, Kin responded. You were abused, both Uzumakis asked. Kin nodded then panicked when the chakra of both Uzumakis flared. Naruto memories of a child ran through his mind, as Karen and her mother lived in Kusa before they escaped. They both charged Dosu in the blink of an eye and did a cross slash, killing him. Dosu fell lifeless on the ground. They both looked at the Oto Nin with disgust and swiped the blood off their swords. I hate people who hurt their comrades. And I hate people who abuse others, Karen added. Karen turned to Naruto after sheathing their swords and jumped on him, embracing him in a hug. It's good to meet you at last. What? Naruto asked before being lumped between Karen's breasts. Not that I don't like it, but why are you doing this? Right, Karen pulled away. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Karen Uzumaki. And we're from the same clan. Naruto's eyes widened. I can't believe me and Ba-chan is not the only one. Wait, there's more. Yeah, you know Tsunade Senju grandmother is part Uzumaki. In fact, she should be done kicking Snake Tem ass right about now. Naruto said. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? Sakura asked. Well, after we were separated, I was attacked by this IWA nin who had it in for my father. She figured out that I was his son just by my looks. When we fought, the Snake Tem arrived and was going to kill her and frame me to provoke a war, but Ba-chan arrived after I sent a clone to get her. Sounds like an experience. For one, I hope she kills him. Kin said. Same. By the way, who are you? I never got your name. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto asked. I'm Kin Tsuchi and... Kukuku, it's like old times Tsunade Haim, Orochimaru said, staring at her old teammate. Well, if you want it to feel like old times, I can call the pervert. Tsunade responded. Jiraiya, he was always a fool. Thinking he can surpass us and trying to always bring me back to this pathetic village. Orochimaru said. It's weird to see you call someone a fool, considering you left because you didn't become Hokage. Tsunade retorted. We both know I would have led this village to greatness. How? By turning everyone to your personnel guinea pigs. Making the village into your own laboratory. I think we've talked too much, Orochimaru said. He approached Tsunade at a slow pace. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. What could he be planning? Tsunade decided to meet Orochimaru halfway and charged him. Orochimaru had a sadistic smirk. Always the straightforward approach. Kinda predictable, Orochimaru said as Tsunade was on top of him. He bit his hand and threw some blood on Tsunade, causing her to freeze. Tsunade fell to her knees and started to quiver in fear. Orochimaru stopped right in front of Tsunade. You truly are pathetic, for a medic to be scared of a little blood. We are shinobi, we bathe in it. To think I almost considered you a threat. Tsunade stopped quivering and spoke. You're right, it is pathetic. Orochimaru was shocked at how calmly she spoke but was even more surprised when she got up and punched him in the face, sending him flying feet away through trees. Orochimaru lifted his head from the branch and stared at the slug Sanin in pain. But how? You really thought I wouldn't have gotten over my fear? I thought you were better than that, Tsunade taunted. Orochimaru climbed out the trunk and snapped his neck in place. I should have known breaking your neck wouldn't be enough. Yes, Orochimaru began, popping his neck back in place. And I should have known you would be rid of your fear of blood. I guess shinobi of our caliber make the simplest mistakes. Orochimaru finished before charging Tsunade at unimaginable speed. Tsunade got on the defense as the snake freak circled her like a prey. You know Tsunade, I can't let you live. After all, you'll get in the way of my plans. I would ask what your plans are, but since you're going to die, it doesn't really matter. Tsunade responded before blocking a punch from her former teammate. She then went for a kick but Orochimaru backflipped away. Tsunade ran after him before jumping in the air and diving at him with a kick. Orochimaru's bottom half became snake-like and avoided the kick. You really are a snake, I can't wait to skin you alive. We both know I was the strongest of the Sanin, Orochimaru said before turning his leg to normal. He charged Tsunade, engaging her in a taijutsu match. He was avoiding her attacks while Tsunade was blocking him since it felt like nothing to her. Orochimaru's right arm turned to a snake and wrapped around Tsunade before biting her. Tsunade poofed away, surprising Orochimaru until he turned around and saw Tsunade in the air with two slugs on her shoulder. The both spat different color acid towards the snake Sanin, covering him. What is this? I can't move. One of them is sticky acid. It prevents you from moving a muscle and is as strong as me. And the other, Tsunade started going through hand signs that finished in a tiger seal. Is exploding acid, Kaden. Gokaku no Jutsu. Tsunade shot a fireball towards the snake Sanin, creating a huge explosion. She landed on a branch, narrowing her eyes at the fire she created. I know you're alive, come out. I'm not here for games. Kukuku, you are as smart as always, but I'm curious. When did you start learning ninjutsu? Orochimaru asked. You see, when I was training with Sensei a few months ago, I realized I lacked range attacks and relied too much on my strength. So I mixed some things up with and learned some ninjutsu when I resumed training with the slugs. But that's not the only thing I learned. Tsunade leapt into the air and covered her foot in lightning, shocking Orochimaru. Tsunade Raiden. Tsunade slammed her lightning foot on Orochimaru, causing a huge quake. Tsunade leapt back and clicked her teeth. The Tem is still alive, where are you? Tsunade asked after the Orochimaru she clicked turned to mud. Kukuku, you improved. While I would normally like to stay and play some more, we attracted some unwanted guests. So I'll take my leave. Goodbye Tsunade Heim, see you soon. Oh, and don't stop the Chunin exams or I'll burn the leaf to the ground. Orochimaru said before his voice disappeared. Tsunade was trying to sense him but soon gave up after she realized he was gone. Damn, freak. Enko, you can come out now. Enko flinched and came out of hiding. Hey Tsunade-sama. Cut the sama shit. Why are you here? Tsunade asked, folding her arms. Well, I saw the corpse of Orochimaru and came to track him down. I see. So how were you going to beat him if you found him? You know you're no match for him, Tsunade asked. I had a jutsu that would have taken him out but, Enko stated. Let me guess, it'll cost you your life, Tsunade asked. Enko nodded slowly while looking at the ground. Tsunade pinches her temples. You know if you would have done that, I would have lost my head matriarch. I know, I was just so angry at what he did to me. Enko responded. I understand, but you have to realize that there are people who care about you. How do you think Naruto would have felt if he found out you died? Anko's eyes widened. She didn't think of that. Tsunade noticed and shook her head. I'm going to tell him, but your punishment begins now. For 1 whole month. No more Anko, Naruto playtime. Anko grabbed Tsunade's legs and begged. No, anything but that. Don't take Anko's playtime with Naru-kun. No, you can still hug him and kiss him. But that's it. Anko started to cry as they headed out the forest. Team 7 along with Karen team was jumping through the trees towards the tower. It turned out that the Oto Nin had the scroll they needed, and since Naruto still had theirs, they head towards the tower. Kin was with them. So Kin, said the girl, turned to Naruto. How was your life in Oto? Shit, Kin said with disgust. They don't value weaklings or kunoichis. I only joined because the snake asshole promised us we could live in a sanctuary. I just wanted to be a kunoichi with friends, but we were only slaves. When I learned we would be coming here, I planned on leaving. But when I saw how strong you were, I knew at that moment I should ask you for help. Me, Naruto asked. Yes, you defended that little boy from Kabuto and how you passed the second exam. You were a badass, Kin said. I'll say, Naruto-kun actually defended me from Sasuke, Sakura said as she began to tell Kin and Karen about their mission at the bandit camp. Naruto-san. Naruto turned to Shizuka, who was looking nervous. I have something to discuss with you. I'm not sure how you will accept this, but I hope you understand. What? Naruto asked. I'll discuss this with you at the tower. But I hope not to be a burden. Shizuka finished as they headed to the tower. The group made it to the tower. Sasuke was still being carried by Naruto's clone. Once they made it in, they were in an empty room, and on the wall was a riddle. If heaven does not exist, enrich your knowledge and prepare for the chance. If earth does not exist, run the field and search for the advantage. Open the series of heaven and earth, and the perilous way shall be redressed. This is namely the secret of the one that guides. Sakura read out loud. What do you suppose this means? Shizuka asked. Well, heaven and earth refers to the scrolls. It also says open the series, so I'm guessing it's okay to open them in this tower and it will guide us to something. Naruto answered. Karen and Naruto opened up their scrolls for their respective team. Iruka appeared from Team 7 and was a red-headed woman. Iruka-sensei, we were attacked by Orochimaru and he did something to Sasuke. Sakura said before Iruka could get a word in. He took Sasuke and carried him to a bedroom in the tower. He stopped and turned to his former students and smiled. I can come along with you. There's something I have to tell the Hokage. Kin added in. Iruka nodded and turned back to his students. I'm proud of you too, you've grown. Sakura, you used to be so fragile, but now I can see how strong you have grown. Naruto, you grew as well, I can tell just by looking at you. You're definitely stronger. You still have 3 more days until the next phase, so rest up and good luck. Iruka said before disappearing. Excuse me. Naruto turned to Karen Sensei, who seemed to be acting nervous. Are you really an Uzumaki? I was informed by my daughter. Naruto's eyes widened. Yes, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet another. I'm Hinoka Uzumaki. Would you be so kind as to tell me your mother's name? Hinoka said. Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto answered. The son of the princess of Uzu and the Red Death. I'm honored. I'm just glad to meet more kin. Naruto responded. Well, we can talk later. Karen and Shizuku, let's leave these two, Hinoka said. Wait, Shizuka, didn't you need to speak to me? Naruto said. Shizuka blushed, remembering what she wanted to talk about. We'll have time later, okay, Shizuka said before walking away with her team. I guess we could go check out our rooms. We have a couple days to relax, Sakura-chan, Naruto said. Sure, I need a shower from that damn forest. Hey, how about you help me bathe? Extra team exercise, Sakura teased. Nah, maybe next time. I'm going to check out the tower and see who else is here. Naruto replied with a blush. I was joking, Naruto-kun. We didn't even have a proper date yet, Sakura said, giggling. You're right, I'll set something up this weekend. Sakura squealed and lunged at Naruto, kissing him on the cheek. You're the best, I'll catch you later, Sakura said, leaving a blushing Naruto in place. Naruto shook it off and chuckled. Naruto started to walk around the tower to see if there were any other competitors. He was pretty sure the Sand team was here, but that was because he knew how strong they were. Hey, there you are. Naruto turned around and saw a blonde Kumo-nin smirking at him. I was really excited to meet you. Naruto cocked an eyebrow in confusion. Really? Well, I'm Naruto. Yugito, pleasure to meet you, Naruto-kun. Yugito responded. Kid, I wasn't able to feel it before, but she's a Jinchuriki. Kitten, that hunk of a man is a Jinchuriki just like you. The Biju told their partners. You're a Jinchuriki, both blondes said at the same time, amazed. Wow, you're the second one I met, Naruto said. Really? Who's the other one? Yugito asked. Yeah, I want to know as well. Both blondes turned to see a mint-hair girl flying. Nice to meet you, Naruto-kun, Yugito-san. My name is Fu and I'm a Jinchuriki as well. I never got to meet others like me. I know, we should all be friends. Yugito and Naruto were surprised yet again. 4 Jinchurikis. Wow, I'm not sure how to feel about this. Naruto thought and remembered what Fu just suggested. Sure, Fu-chan, I wouldn't mind being friends. What about you, Yugi-chan? Yugito blushed and smirked. She places her hand on Naruto's cheek, causing him to blush. Sure, Naru-kun, if it means I get to know you better. Great, we're all friends now. We should go find the other one you mentioned, Naruto-kun. What's his name again? Gaara. Everyone turns to see the Sand Nin approaching them, yawning. I never thought sleep felt so good. Yo, Gaara, did you hear everything we were talking about? Naruto asked. I did, and it feels weird to find others like me, but I don't sense any hatred coming from any of you. Gaara said. All the others nodded, then Naruto's stomach growled. I guess I'm hungry. How about I show you the best place to eat? Yugito smirked and wrapped her arm around Naruto's. Sure, I'll even allow you to escort me there, Yugito said with a teasing smile. After all, I am a lady. Hearing this, Fu took his other arm and smirked. Right, gentlemen are supposed to escort a lady. Naruto chuckled and began to leave. Are you Naruto? The group turned to an Iwa nin wearing armor with his right hand tucked into his shirt. The man narrowed his eyes at the group before it softened. I'm Hans. I wanted to thank you for saving my teammate, Kuroitsuchi, but I never expected you to be a Jinchuriki and with others. Naruto was about to ask how he knew until he felt the chakra of the man. Naruto started to laugh. Wow, another one. Well, you're welcome. I would have done it for anyone. Han nodded. Anyway, I heard you were about to eat and I'm quite famished myself. Sure, you can come. Naruto cut him off. Hans nodded and the group left towards what Naruto would call the food meant for the gods. Ah, this is relaxing. Who knew the tower had a hot spring? Sakura said, relaxing in the water. I'll say, it's quite nice. Sakura opened her eyes and saw Temari with a towel over her body. Mind if I join you? Sure, Temari-san. Was it? That's right, and you're Sakura. The one with the cute blonde for a teammate, Temari said with a sexy smirk, thinking about the blonde. Yeah, Naruto is amazing, Sakura replied. I'm also interested in learning about him, would that be cool? Samui said, walking in with Kuretsuchi. Temari and Sakura eyed the girl's chest before having similar thoughts. Big. Tamari was proud of her body, but Sakura's soul left her body. He's strong, I'll tell you that. I fought him in the forest and gotta say I was impressed. Kuritsuchi sat down in the water. Hey Pinky, is he single? Samui and Tamari looked towards Sakura, waiting for an answer. Depends on how you look at it, Sakura said, confusing the other three. Naruto is in the CRA for being part of two clans, but the proctor from the second exam determines who gets a chance. Naruto-kun decision. I see, I guess I'll talk to her later. Hopefully she'll be cool with it, Samui said, sitting right next to Sakura. Now tell me about him, Samui insisted. Well, for one, he values everyone he cares about. He even saved my life one time when we went on a mission. Sakura began to explain. Welcome to Ichiraku's ramen, where the food meant for the gods is created, Naruto said. The Jinchuriki smelled the aroma and started to drool. They each took a seat waiting for Chuki. Hey old man, you got some hungry customers. Naruto, wow, you brought me new customers. Now what can I get you? Hey, Miss 2. Mind if I join you? Everyone turns to CB smiling. This food smells so fine, must be mine. Fine, but stop the rapping, Yugito responded. B nodded and sat between Naruto and Fu. Now, what can I get you? 1 bowl of miso ramen. 2 bowls of shrimp ramen. 5 bowls of vegetable ramen. 7 bowls of chicken ramen. 8 bowls of pork ramen. 9 bowls of the Naruto special, all the Jinchuriki answered. Chuki was doing an impression of a fish before his eyes had dollar signs in them. Wow, Naruto-kun really took a slash for you, even though, excuse my language, a bitch to him, Kuritsuchi said. Sakura looked down in shame. It wasn't my proudest moment. Sasuke is talented, but he has a black hole for a heart. I'll say, he's cute, but Naruto has the confidence in him that you would want in a man, Tamari said. And to use his strength for others is honorable and cool. You said his sword was a blur when he killed those Sound Nin. I need to know more, but I also want to fight him for myself, Samui said, rubbing her shoulders. Same here. Hi everyone. Mind if we join you? Karen and Shizuka walked in. Karen sat next to Samui and Shizuka sat on the other side. Naruto-kun was impressive when we fought those Sound Nin. I can also tell he was holding back. He's definitely one of the few we should be wary about in this exam, Shizuka said. Karen, if you were to rank us against him, how would our chances be, since you're a censor and you saw him fight? Karen closed her eyes. Well, you and Samui-san might have 40-45% chance, but I haven't seen Samui fight. I'm just going by knowledge by Cloud Nin fighting style. Tamari-san uses a fan, and from what I've seen Naruto do, I'll say Tamari-san has 20% unless she has something hidden. Kuritsuchi-san. Don't say it. Everyone turned to the Iwa Nin. I fought him. He's a clever one. The whole time he was fighting me, he defended himself, but I could tell he had potential to kill me. When he got mad at the snake that showed up, I felt his ki rising and his chakra was amazing. I'll say my chance is the same as Samui. Karen nodded before continuing. I'll say my chance is 50%. And before you say anything, I'm not being arrogant. We're from the same clan. Our chakra level matches and style might not be so different. I know myself well. I'm not saying no one is weak, but I'm not certain who would win. Everyone stands a chance, it just depends on how the cards are played. 3 days later, all the genin that managed to get both scrolls was lined up with the Jonin Sensei, the examiners, and the Hokage. Naruto and Karen were eyeing Sasuke. His chakra felt darker than normal. Most of the females were eyeing Naruto with lust, while some of the men wanted to fight him. Few believed he was a dead last, while others wanted a challenge. What was weird was that there was a few extra people here, like Tsunade and Shizune. Welcome and congratulations on passing the second stage. Now turn your attention to the Hokage, Enko said, stepping back. Allow me to explain the exam's true purpose. This exam is to show the village's true potential to the world. If the village shows strength, we receive more missions. We also use these exams to create new relationships with potential allies and form alliances, as well as showing our strength to our enemies, keeping them from attacking. Sandaime-sama, I'll explain the next part of the exam. Hayate said, stepping forward. The next stage will be 1 versus 1. Originally, we were going to give you a month, but we didn't suspect many of you to pass, so we will eliminate some of you with a preliminary round. Daimyo and other important people will arrive, so only the strong will be allowed to move on. Hayate said before coughing a bit. Now before we start, could those who feel well or anyone not up to it, feel free to drop out. We will begin the match immediately after. I give up, Kabuto said, raising his hand. Naruto, Karen and Yugito narrowed their eyes at him suspiciously. They figured he was up to something since his chakra level was still high and he didn't have a scratch on him. Alongside Kabuto, Fu's 2 teammates gave up as well and left. Alright, now pay attention to the board. Everyone who doesn't see their name, please move to the balcony. Hayate instructed. Everyone waited to see who would be the first to fight. When the names appeared, Naruto smirked and turned to his fellow Uzumaki, who was smiling. Well, good luck Karen-chan, show everyone what an Uzumaki is made of. Naruto said. You can count on it, Karen said before turning to her opponent, as everyone else proceeded to the balcony leaving her and a Jinchuriki. On the board, Karen Uzumaki versus Hans of Iwa. But guys, I am ending it here. Remember to hit that like and sub button, but I am out and we'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed you all.